probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
Have you been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn? At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an advocate you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you need, advocates you deserve. That's 877-42-LIBERTY or libertylawnebraska.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're live, 1040 O Street. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, Old School Crew. Indiana week, number 16. Newly cemented, going up 2 spots after bye week, which is always good. There's nothing better than getting a promotion on your day off versus getting fired on your day off, which obviously is not what anybody wants to do. But there was never probably a time where you thought that 2024 Indiana would be number 16 in the nation, even though in the last 5 or 10 years, led by Tom Allen, they've been pretty successful. But quick turnaround by Signetti will be a tough challenge. A lot of things going there. But speaking of challenges, there's a lot of good games this weekend. Some comeback victories, some disappointing games on Friday. Utah, obviously, their season is pretty much over as far as to getting into the final 12. Still, obviously, I think turn around and keep their head above water. Obviously, Arizona State was up and coming team, and then you have Lane Kiffin, who is definitely looking up at the college football playoffs right now, considering that they dropped their second game. Life is still abode in Baton Rouge with LSU. Obviously, a walk-off touchdown in the game. And then let's not forget, Oregon defending their home turf. I'm sure they'll play again, whether it's in the playoffs or a Big Ten or the playoffs. But a lot have been going on. So it was a good weekend. Not probably what everybody thought it was. Obviously, Texas destroyed Oklahoma, biggest margin of victory in almost 30 years. For you two, what was the biggest surprise?
Austin and I talked about it Saturday morning, and that I was stunned by Utah's decision to let an injured Cam Rising stay out there.
Yeah, I think that obviously they said on the broadcast that Wilson was just that bad. And then obviously I think that first hit that Rising took kind of really messed up his ability to throw the ball, which then turns to the head coach, which you're watching the same thing everybody's saying. You should be in constant contact or communication with your quarterback. Sometimes you can, and we saw this here with baby Adrian, right? Where you believe in him so much, you feel like even if he's injured at, let's say 70, 65, 70, maybe 60%, he's better than your backup at 100%. It's you have a player like Rising that, I guess in people's view, has gained that much trust. To me, when I look at a player like Cam Rising, I look at him like Cardell Jones. Like he needed to leave when he was at his apex, which was against Ohio State. Cardell Jones the same way. You let Urban Meyer lie to you, you end up going a little bit later, because ever since then it's been the injury bug for Cam Rising, and then obviously he's been fighting against that game against Ohio State, even though it's 2 or 3 years prior. So I think with the him keeping him in there, I guess that's a big part of it. But also I think their lack of truly trying to run the ball really hurt themselves. But if they did try to run the ball, you could feature your 2 NFL tight ends, but then you don't have anybody that deliver to it, and their defense just isn't. I shouldn't say just isn't. Yes, or Friday they had not played up to what Utah defense has generally played. They got out physical, which I didn't think they would late in the game, and I think you just kept giving Arizona State chances, and you just got beat.
The surprise for me is, I don't know if I'm more surprised that Penn State came back or less surprised that USC allowed it to happen. But Penn State hasn't come back to win that game. On the road, that many time zones away, Aller playing the way he did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised Penn State survived that. Now, I'll be even more surprised if they beat Ohio State, because the Penn State thing to do is beat everyone except Ohio State. The path is there for Penn State to make it to the Big Ten championship game because they found a way to win this game. I just don't know if it's going to matter if they end up losing to Ohio State. So I'm surprised for now, but probably not surprised in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was a weird. I think they finally woke up. That's just there, and I think they just were sleepwalking. I think USC is the type of team. You saw this with Lincoln Riley when he was at Oklahoma. They're a first or second half team. I think I heard Sipple this morning said that Lincoln Riley was a really good second half coach just because this first half offense is generally booty. right, in big games. Now he does, and then also a lot of those times when you're playing against a team that's really good, in Lincoln Riley's case, you're down. So then your offense numbers will obviously spike because I call it the chuck and duck time. You're just really just going to get a lot of empty yards. I'm with you also. I'm not surprised, but then I am. But then I think also everybody I was part of it too. That first game against LSU, USC looked so much different. I still think they have gotten better physically. I think with Bear going into the transfer portal, the true inside force, inside 3 technique, 1, 2, 3 technique is gone. So their physicality and their just like edge is gone. And then the number 18, that kind of 6'5", he's like I don't know what you call him, but he's a crazy athlete. He's gone. So he can't. So when he's out of there, that's how they were able to throw their tight end and have like 16 catches. Because he not only will deter you from doing it, but then also he will not allow it to happen to that rate because he will be on him. So then I think it just worked out for Penn State. I don't know. I wasn't impressed by their defense though, considering who they have on their defense.
USC's got dudes though.
But
on offense,
yeah.
But Penn State's defense coming into this season, they were supposed to be the defense, which you're not going to shut down USC. But to the rate that they were getting walked the dog on them, I mean, granted, time zones, they just didn't look as dominant as I thought.
How does it happen that you allow one player at this level, allow one player to get off the way you allowed 44 to get off for Penn State?
Well, one,
they use them so many different ways.
Yeah, they use them a ton of different ways, which is okay. So it's no different if you play, and you see this a lot of time in high school. There was a guard around here who would score 30 points, but he shot 30 times, and he shot from everywhere. So it's like, well, how do you not stop? Well, you just get, as soon as he comes over half court, he's jacking up shots. So it's just more of kind of a over volume. I think they use them in different ways. I think USC they're in that transition mode of really trying to get used to playing really good defense. So the little things that go inside of a game, they're just not there yet because they got a new coordinator. So they have a new coordinator, essentially all new players because they've actually got in the weight room and doing that, and then they're now into a new league. But to that volume, you should have had, and I think you see this in basketball where coaches will not. Very rarely will they run a box and 1, triangle and 2, or like revolving man defense. It's either we're playing man or we're playing zone. So in football or in college, they won't say we'll run cover 4 or whatever you call it with the tag of 44 because it would change based on where he's lined up. Now that's something that you don't go into the game preparing for, that they're going to throw it to 44 or 16 times because that hadn't been their number one option. But at some point in time, whether it's in between the first and second quarter, halftime, during the third quarter, fourth, or in between the fourth, the third and fourth quarter, or at some point in the game, somebody has to say, listen, I'm taking 44. But sometimes you get caught up in it and you're thinking like, I think it got to the point where like after he had 8 receptions, they won't throw it to him 10 times. Well, then once he got to 10, you might as well just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they won't keep throwing it to him. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And then, they missed the field goal. And then, Penn State was able to make theirs. It's a signature victory for James Franklin, one he's not been able to do or complete in his career, at least recently. And, for Penn State, it's a game that they probably weren't thought to win. They could win. And I think, for Lincoln Riley, as much as he was at the mountaintop week 3, he's right back where, Paul Finnbaum or whatever his name is wants him to be at the end of the season. And that's on the hot seat.
It just seemed like it was watching the game. I wanted to see what the personalities of those teams were in the fourth quarter. Like I literally was waiting for the fourth quarter and saying, okay, here we go. Now we're going to see some real stuff. And there were a lot of games. Texas, Oklahoma. I kept waiting for the fourth quarter for Oklahoma to put to use some of what they saw in the first three quarters. Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Oklahoma's game was a little different because they came in without they had their top 4 receivers out, and I feel they pulled the plug on Arnold too quickly. You ran Dylan Gabriel out of town for him.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
And you know,
Right.
it's just part of the deal. Sometimes, I mean, you see it all the time, whether it's a pitcher, as I'm looking at it right now, the Mets are up 6-0 on the Dodgers, or a quarterback, I obviously see all the time, or sometimes you see it with receivers because that's generally where a rookie can come in, let's run the veteran out. Sometimes you think you see that new car and you understand it'll break down faster than the other one. And now you've made the decision to go from one essentially freshman, even though Arnold was a true freshman last year. He's really a freshman this year because he was just playing spot duty, to another freshman. So now you really have taken 2 steps back when you should be trying to take two steps forward, going into a significantly different league. This isn't going from the Big 12 to the old Pac-12 or the ACC. You're going from the Big 12 to realistically maybe a little bit, you know, I think the Big 10 is extremely physical. I'd maybe say that the SEC is maybe a little bit more physical just because of the size of athlete, and everybody in that league plays a physical type of game. Whereas like here you got
When they play it fast.
and they play it fast. Well, you got Washington, like the Purdue's, where it kind of throw it around. Even like Wisconsin, at least they were trying up until last week to throw it all the way around. Whereas like when you play in the SEC, like everybody's lining up trying to smash you. That's a big adjustment for Oklahoma. And now you have a new freshman quarterback that can't yet play pitch and catch. Desperation, impulsive is just, in my opinion, sometimes a sign of bad leadership. And then,
but how is that possible in this day and age with so many elite quarterback coaches and specialists that can get people to do the base level things in high volume done? That there are these programs sitting in the Power 4 that can't develop a quarterback.
Well, I mean, this goes into whether it's high school coaches or college coaches. Like, we're just bringing you in, and we're gonna be okay with you being okay. So if you're a runner, we'll just say, okay, you're a runner. We'll just not even try to develop you as a passer. If you're a passer, we're not going to even try to really develop you into a potential pro prospect. It's so short-sighted with a lot of things, whether it's sports and business. There's really no difference. If you're really making decisions and not really thinking them through, you're going to make a decision. It might not work out. It might not hit you right then. It will hit you later. So if you have a quarterback like Arnold, first of all, he has no experience. None. He's a 5-star recruit. He had
bad bowl game against Arizona.
Right. But he has no experience. So then now you're taking this kid. You had him all off season, right? This is the guy you had all the receivers work with, take all the first team reps, and then now you're not hitting on all cylinders, but they essentially a super senior high school or a high school super senior, and now you're going to go to a regular freshman, and then you expect some results. Well, these guys are, these guys are, a lot of them are 7-on-7 kids, and they just go out. I mean, let's be honest. I'm sure at the high school that Arnold was at, and any other quarterback, the guys that they're throwing to in high school are better than the guys they're going against. So the throws are generally open, right? So your development and you're getting used to the speed of the game is in present time. And so the ability to play pitch and catch, the ability to want to play pitch and catch is probably not high on their priority list, because you could be a 4 or 5-star. Well, not generally 5-star recruits. I think they generally check more boxes, and the only one that's really missing or there is upstairs. I think with the 4-star, you could be a 4-star recruit, but really be like, and that's potential 4-star recruit potential wise, but actually be 2-star production and talent wise.
But in that kind of the real dilemma is that evaluating people for potential, because stars are potential based. It's not always a concrete thing.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So isn't that the real dilemma? Is that sometimes you can send all your resources, all your energy, all your play calls about a player who isn't fit for the thing you're going to ask him to do.
Yeah, or sometimes people recruit kids and try to get them to do things that they're like. I always say this: like if you're watching a guy and he's a pass rusher, and everything that you every time you've watched his tape, right? And this happens in the NFL all the time. And he's been playing. He plays the tightest technique that he plays is a 7 technique. So that's generally head up on the tight end, right? And then you have an 8-eye, which is outside, and a 9 is everybody knows a wide 9, right? So the only thing you ever see him play is a 7 technique, and that's generally because there's somebody outside of him. So he's either just going right. It's probably you got to go through the tight end, and then you're a little bit late in the rush. Well, then teams will pick these guys up, and they'll have him play 5 technique, 4 technique, 3, and be like, well, he's not producing. Everything that he's seen and used to playing is predicated on him playing really a 9 and 8 technique, pretty much outside shoulder of everything.
I mean, that's so much of the highlight game now and the social media content game now. Highlight reels are always putting people in positions where they make plays and not where they have to be the supplemental player. Like,
yeah,
it's when I send Terrell Farley on a blitz rather than Farley's run fit in the gap head to head against a fullback. He may do one of them better, and that's the thing that ends up on the reel. That's his identity, and not really how you identify him as a player.
Yeah, and you also have to have players that are willing to get better. Like, understand, if you played in a 3-4 in college, don't think that you're only going to play. If you think you're only going to play a 3-4 in the pros, dude, you might as well just get ready. Don't give away your apartment because you're going to be back here real soon. If you think that you're only going to do one thing, if you don't want any versatility, then you won't be successful. So, I mean, you see it all the time in the pros, whether you see a guy that progresses and continues to get better or guys that stay stagnant. So, I mean, it's no different than Oklahoma, and they're struggling right now, and it's a big transition. It's a struggle for some other teams, like a team I feel like UCLA is undermanned, right? So they're kind of just trying to play and keep everything tight and try to pull it away late, right? We've been there. The margin of error is so tight. Whereas then you got Washington, and I love Jetfish. He's my dude, right? He's just out there just calling plays. Like, you could get away with that at the Pac-12. Because when you're at Arizona and quiet as kept, just to let everybody know, they have the best receiver in the nation. So they got the best receiver in the nation. They had the other guy that was in a top 10 receiver last year and a really good runner. You could do that because you always be able to go 80 yards in 5 plays. You're not going to be able to do that in the Big Ten. So it's kind of a toss up right now with what people are doing. But boy, I can tell you what. Whether you're in Norman, Oklahoma, where's Ole Miss at? What is that?
Oxford.
And if you're you're in Oxford. And I will say this, and what's this Piscataway too?
Mm.
Yeah. Conversations are different today.
I'm going to ask you before we go to break or before when we come back, but I'm going to ask you about them Provo boys.
Oh, that was my next to. Yeah, I need a break. I guess I got to give him credit.
Jay will go to break and craft his apology statement after this.
To BYU? All right, I'll apologize to every BYU alumnus. Are they even alums? What are they? What
Former students.
Yeah. You BYU columnist. I apologize to you. I will pin my true heartfelt apology for you Provoites. Here in about 5 or 6 minutes, Jay Foreman, DP Austin, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
Sartor Hamann Jewelers is celebrating 119 years as Lincoln's top choice for fine jewelry. Join us for our anniversary sale going on now through October 20th. Enjoy an exclusive 20% off on in-stock items, including dazzling diamond jewelry, exquisite rings, and luxury watches. This once-a-year event is our way of saying thank you to the community that has supported us for over a century. Mark your calendars and celebrate this milestone with us by indulging in spectacular savings only at Sartor Hamann Jewelers.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Have you been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn? At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an advocate you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you need, advocates you deserve. That's 877-42-LIBERTY or libertylawnebraska.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Quick segment. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. Was the BYU and Iowa State. Look at it, and it's two places that I've not pulled punches that have different. I feel very strongly against each place. Now, Iowa State.
Jay Foreman is a wordsmith. So when Jay starts moving around a statement, it tickles me in no end.
I just was thinking, right? I've been and I've asked people that lived in Iowa about Ames, Iowa. It smells like crap in Ames, Iowa, and it's a stench that, along with the hawk, when you drive back, at least for me, when I used to drive from Minneapolis to Lincoln, that's a good place to fill up for gas, especially when it's cold out, right? Or when it's hot. So in the cold wind, You get out the hawk, it burns your nostrils, and then here comes the dookie, and just literally is like worse than smelling salts. And then then when it's hot in the summer, it's just resting there. It's like just a cloud of dookie. And I asked somebody, what is that? How do you not have a 800 number to call at 3:00 in the morning for mesothelioma, or whatever it is?
1-800 Duke's Mayo.
Right? Because here's how I'm thinking. I know it's in your water system, right?
Yeah.
But give it up to Coach Campbell, who I felt that was on the hot seat. He did show a little bit of vinegar in his blood when he went after that fan last year that kind of was kind of falling in the locker room. They are a well-coached team. I will give them this. They have developed high-quality NFL players. They've actually been pretty consistent, except for the last year and a half. And they're 6-0, rightfully so. So
amazing what happens when you get guys that are betting on the games off your team.
That is true.
Austin is so petty. He is so petty.
Well, the best
defense
part
rests.
Well, the best part was the guy that bet last year for Ames or for Iowa State was the kicker. And boy, let me tell you something. That snap hook that he hit,
right,
that he kicked, you did that on purpose. Yeah. Okay, you made sure that you covered. But this year they are way better. And maybe they needed a year or two to kind of develop guys. And that's what sometimes happens at a school like Iowa State. But they're 6-0. But to me, they're a surprise. I thought they maybe would be 3-3, 4-2 at this point. But they are well-oiled machine, and they're looking to make some noise in the Big 12. On the flip side, the two teams that most likely might play, because preseason it was Kansas State, Oklahoma State, or bust.
In Utah.
Yeah, in those three. And everybody always say Colorado, but it wasn't, never was going to come to fruition. And it was just like BYU joined the Big 12, and it was like, and listen, Utah.
They were picked like 12th.
Right. And Utah's been the team in Utah, right? They have a more national brand. They play a more national schedule. Mm-hmm. But I think BYU showed themselves and put themselves on the map quietly, because you're playing in Provo. Is when Kansas State went up there and they beat Kansas State like 39-3. I mean, it was a butt kicking. And it wasn't the Ty Detmer days when they would play nationally ranked teams and they would the grass would be high and they would just be throwing it all over the place with like 26-year-old slot guys, right? Just Debo and Cass. No. BYU lined up and kicked K-State's what. So I was like, all right, that's a one-off. You go from, Kansas State, all the way up there. They get you as a 9:30 game. Yeah, all right. It was perfect. It was a Friday night, I think. Okay, they took that game and they've continued to get stronger. If right now, those Iowa State and BYU are the two best teams in the Big 12, in my opinion. Two most balanced teams. The teams have been the most consistent. In a lot of ways, they've been the most explosive. Obviously, Colorado's very explosive, but what I mean is like Utah explosive, where they'll systematically be explosive against you. And they play with great energy, especially on defense. And you got to give them credit, even though you're in Provo.
And it's played well. They've played. The surprising thing to me is that they played well on the road.
Right. So they're portable. So
right?
that lets me know what they have is in their veins. And, you got to give them credit. I'm not a big Utah fan. I think people in Utah are weird. You know what I'm saying? And there's no offense. I just think I've seen too much, heard too much. You just like a town. You just have your own rules.
They think the same thing about Nebraska, by the way.
That's fine.
By the way,
that's fine. More people come to Nebraska than Utah.
No, the Olympics are going to.
Yeah, but I'm talking about without being curtailed to
Park City and Salt Lake City.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Park City and Salt Lake City. But Nebraska does not have a Park City or
the things that happen in Park City is right on time with Utah.
You are not incorrect.
There were some Diddy parties in Park City.
You are not incorrect.
Yeah, and Utah is a beautiful place. I have a friend that lives in Utah. My man Greg that lives up there. He's from the Bronx, New York. He was my Nike rep, and so he left. He was with Nike, then went to Nike Golf because obviously Tiger Woods and all that. They had him on Utah, and then Nike Golf, went defunct. He ain't left. He posts stuff all the time, snowboarding, all this, and he loves it up there. He loves the fresh air. It's different than when he grew up. Utah's not that bad, I'm sure.
This is like hilarious.
I'm sure it's not as bad as I say.
I love getting Jay Foreman taking punches at Utah. That's fantastic. But it to me, it was the interesting thing to just go, wow. This is where we are. That Iowa State, Army, Navy, Liberty, BYU, Indiana are in the discussion. Like they're fully headed to week 7. They're in the discussion.
Oh, they're not just so like if you look at it, a big table, like one of those big tables back when they had like kings and queens and all that, right? Generally, those schools, there'll be a couple of them, and they'll just kind of be waiting to get a seat. As of this week, right now, every single one of those teams has a confirmed seat,
and able to speak at the table.
Well, they're getting asked questions.
Yeah,
and they're making suggestions, and like I said, Iowa State and BYU, they control their own destiny.
How about Army Navy? Yeah,
that's both ranked for the first time since 1960.
Since Doc Blanchard and Roger the Dodger Staubach. We got to go back in the day, back in the day. That America's game this year will have a different meaning.
Yeah,
America's game will have. Think about that now. That a week after everybody else's regular season ends, and the week before the playoffs, conference championships, Army Navy will play in a playoff game. How do you tell Army or Navy, undefeated or with one loss, that they don't belong in the 12-team playoff? Boy, good for you, America. Good for you, America.
Yeah, I know that'd be tough. That'd be a tough phone call. That'd be a tough phone call, but I'd make it.
Put us in the playoff where it's kiss your rights goodbye. We've enjoyed it while you had it.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, it's
a great
weapons. It's a great accomplishment. I mean,
Tallahassee is dialing furiously right now.
You don't matter. This is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, I hope they end up finishing the season strong. Because it's great. I mean, listen, it's an opportunity to improve yourself. And they've done it. They won't be in the playoff though. But anyways, Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of health care, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Have you been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn? At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an advocate you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you need, advocates you deserve. That's 877-42-LIBERTY or libertylawnebraska.com.
If you're not advertising your business on your vehicle, you're missing out on a lot of potential clients, and it's time to change that. Automotive Solutions excels in vinyl wraps and company IDs. They offer BG services with free warranties available, and they service all cars and diesel trucks too. They also service fleets, and if you push snow in the winter, get ahead now with your vehicles. Don't forget, ticket listeners receive a service discount on preventative maintenance. Call Automotive Solutions for an appointment at 531-249-5600 and stop by at 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Norman. Quick segment before the top of 5 o'clock hour. Some rankings, man. I mean, it's, I think as this stuff goes on, these elimination games, especially when you have an early season loss, start to add the pressure, because I can almost guarantee that Ole Miss never projected to show up down there in Death Valley with their backs against the wall, because they never envisioned themselves losing at home to Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? And so now you're going to see some pressure mount, and there's a lot of pressure down there in Bama, Tuscaloosa, based on the eye test. And there's two things that these programs, all programs, have to be aware of or face. It's I call it the reality test and the eye test. The reality test is, okay, we're playing good, we got to win the games we're supposed to, we can't lose at home like Ole Miss, or the eye test. Whereas Bama, they're not passing the eye test, and it's from and it's for something that's it's a bigger picture eye test. Same with Georgia, and it's two different things, and it's the same word, but it's playing out two different ways. Undisciplined. Georgia, the players off the field, Kirby Smart just Deboed his former quarterback, right?
I think so.
Van Buren. Deboed the quarterback.
Is he suspended for a week?
He said it didn't see him. Right? But he
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Like we saw you look at dude on film.
Yeah.
Man.
But then you also have undisciplined with Bama, and just from top to bottom. Clock management, quarterback play,
kick football.
Yeah, like little things, emergency, like hands team. It's playing out in this in real time, and it seems to get it worse.
And it's more worrying, I would say, for Georgia, given their pedigree. Year one under Kalen DeBoer, like you said, the reality is Alabama's only lost to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And it took a generational performance. Okay, they haven't had a hiccup like that since Nick Saban's first year.
Yeah.
It's been a while. They were due for that. But we expect Georgia to reload and then pass the eye test.
Yeah.
They're not. So I'm more concerned about Georgia at this point under Kirby Smart than I am Alabama at this point under Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, and because Georgia had...
But who's more likely to be in the playoffs?
Both. They're both there.
Yeah, they're both. But it won't pass the eye test either, because they'll end up losing a game they shouldn't have.
One of them are going to lose another game. right?
But they'll get the benefit of the doubt. They're the type of
We're
team
gonna have to hear about plucky underdog 11 seed Georgia going on the road and winning 2 games.
Right. But then they'll lose a game that they're not supposed to based on what we're seeing right now. And
Georgia's not the better team on Saturday.
No.
Texas is a better team.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
But if they beat Texas,
they're back. That's
back.
what they'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
They're back until they play another game.
Until SEC championship.
Right. Or a game leading up to it.
So your number for the number of SEC teams that get into the 12?
3 or 4.
Austin, what do you think?
If you set the line at 3.5, I am staying far away. Right now, I still think it's Texas, Bama, Georgia. LSU certainly knocking on the door. A&M has a chance to make a run. Tennessee is right there. Ole Miss only has one potential season-changing game left. If they don't capitalize against Georgia, that's it. They're done. They might be cooked anyways.
They got to win out, and they got to beat Georgia convincingly, and I don't think they can do it. I don't even think
and there'll be a 2-loss SEC team that gets in.
Yeah,
maybe a 3.
That's why.
Will there be a 2-loss Big Ten team that gets in?
Probably if it's Ohio State.
Yeah, Penn State beats Ohio State. Ohio State's your 12.
Yeah, especially if Ohio State comes back and beat Michigan, even though Michigan won't be ranked high enough. It's the fact that they beat them. I mean, and it's like you said, man, there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, even like with the Oklahoma quarterback, we got a texter in here, and Eric was like, "Did you just see me like taking off and running to the sideline? That works in like Seacrest Field. That's not working. These dudes are just not ready to play, and they're not ready for this competition. So everybody thought the regular season didn't count. It's starting to count because teams are starting to lose games that they shouldn't. So now it really counts. And so discipline, character, and culture and stuff like that is going to come and be. These last 6 weeks are going to be huge, legendary. So we'll see. Anyways, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. Quick break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Male have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Male. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmale.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 15th is $2 off tray packaged ground beef, $2 off hot dogs, 15% off cookbooks, and buy one, get one 50% off on hardcore carnivore seasoning. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hey, Nebraska football fans, it's defensive lineman Ty Robinson, and I've got a winning play for you with Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Team up with Action and install a new Bradford white water heater in your home. And if we win the conference championship this season, you'll get a full refund. Don't fumble this opportunity. Sack your old water heater this season and score big with Action. Visit actionlincoln.com/Huskers to learn more.
Promotion valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
5 o'clock hour, and we will go until 6. No Jay Foreman this hour. He's setting up some programming for later in the week, and he's doing a really cool interview. We'll let him disclose it and share it when the time is right and appropriate. 402-464-5685. Start him a text line if you want to be a part of what we're doing. You want to follow us on the streams, of course, you can do that. Facebook, YouTube, X, and Allo, channel 961. And if you would please, Austin Orman, hey, yo, let him know about the Mercado.
Gladly. They have 3 Lincoln locations and 1 Omaha location for you to check out. Every type of meat and every type of cut open for you every weekday, as well as, don't forget, 84th and Havelock has Fired Up Fridays. That is their Friday lunch special, 11 to 2. Get there. It is first come, first serve. If you are there at 2, you are too late. So really appreciate our friends at the Mercado for everything they do for us, and they can do the same for you.
Can we do a thing, Austin? I will hand you more responsibility. If finding out what that Friday special is and then sharing it every Friday.
I can work on it.
See, that's who you are, Austin. I mean, that's greatly appreciated. Before we get back, an update, National League Championship Series into the sixth inning. The Metropolitans, the Fighting Metropolitans from New York, lead the Dodgers 6-1. Max Muncy gets the Dodgers on the board with a bomb to the right field bleachers. But the Dodgers are back up at the plate, and they've got to run around. So let's see how the Mets bullpen holds up. Opportunities again on the road. They're on a losing streak against the Dodgers. So all sorts of things can happen.
We talked about the BGs at the end of On the Block.
Mm-hmm.
Edwin Diaz is doing the smart thing and not tempting them. After he gets hurt celebrating, he's like, nope, y'all have fun. I will stand on the mound, throw my arms up in the air, and that is good enough for me.
We are not gonna we are not gonna do a thing. And then we have Monday Night Football tonight. Looking forward to it. The great state of New York will host as the Buffalo Bills travel to face the New York Jets, and it's new leadership for the Jets. And so I've got family in New York and New Jersey, and they have adopted calling the Mets the Metropolitans, but they now accepted the Jetropolitans.
Jetropolitans, good. I was hoping that's where that was going. I was hoping.
They've accepted the Jetropolitans as well. They were hoping for the Amazing Jets to take off on the Amazing Mets, but no, they're not quite getting that. And as we said, Joe Namath is not walking in the door. So there's that whole thing. Austin Orman, you are now commissioner of college football.
Lifelong dream accomplished.
Oh, there it is. We got you, bro. Ooh. We got you. And you can deputize as many texters as you want, because the discussion is this, kind sir. Since college football has expanded to 12 teams in the playoff, the discussion of how those 12 teams will be identified comes into discussion. And the new ranking system came out. The new rankings came out, and it's not official yet. We're not at the official phase. It's just the talk phase.
Right.
We're not really dating. We're just just talking, right? Yes. Like we're having coffee, but we're not having adult beverages.
Ooh, but see, the kids would say if you're just talking, it's digital. Once you get coffee, it feels like a date.
Is that the line for dating now? Is that listen, I'm out of the dating game. So when you tell me face-to-face is dating, but digital,
you can talk in class as long as you are at a site that you are not normally found at. Like if you're talking to someone at school, like you eat lunch with them, it's not a date.
Okay, so is regular DMing dating?
Talking.
Air quotes.
Yes.
Talking. If it's consistent DMing, let's say on one of the social circles rather than phone to phone.
Talking. Because more of them start outside of text message.
Okay. Now, this is where it gets interesting for me as the coach in me, because I would hear this from my players. And these were high school and college players. So they would tell me, hey, coach, this is, who is this? Well, coach, she showed up to a game, so I think we're a thing now. Right? They would tell me, like, somebody that you DM that you don't really hang out with, but you've been talking a lot. Mm-hmm. And then they show up to a game. Oh, it's a thing now. Like it's a thing. And then there are those that say, no, you actually have to engage for it to be anything beyond that.
See, that's kind of what happened to me. I was talking to this girl who then went on a little bit of a mission trip to Haiti. Came back, we were still talking. And then one of the first things she did when she got back, once she got off work, she came to one of my baseball games. That was in June.
That's the line.
But we officially started dating in August. That's when I actually asked her out, and she's now my wife. So all's well that ends well. God bless you, Olivia. I love you.
Quite a run. That is quite a run. Again, I'm the other generation. I'm an elder generation. As a matter of fact, I think I'm two dating generations outside of your circle, because I had to call a landline and actually talk to the parents just to talk to the daughter. We didn't have cell phones. This is before beepers. I had to call a landline and she had to stand in the kitchen or the living room, I had to talk to Dad first to get, hey, by the way, can I talk to nice talking to you, Mr. Kirkpatrick? Now can I talk to your daughter? And sometimes the answer was no. Sometimes the answer was no, or mom, right? Or mom. And I had that thing where because you're an athlete and that there weren't that many athletes, if you showed up in the Washington Post, they knew who you were, right? So the dads, I had the athlete advantage. Moms, I had the charming charisma boy vantage. And then sometimes because my voice doesn't necessarily identify who I am, sometimes that was a problem. Sometimes
for them or for you.
Hey, listen, it was never a problem for me, but there were quite a few parents who had a real issue. Like, wait a minute. Listen, Austin, we talked on the phone for 2 months before I went to her house. And I went to her house and Dad was on the porch. It didn't go well. He saw me walking up and I was like, wait a minute. You're the guy who like high fives me outside the locker room every Friday night. I'll root for you, but leave my daughter alone. Leave my daughter alone. So that was a real thing.
Pecan Pie says she didn't have the 80-foot extended phone cord, DP.
Oh, listen, there were those. The 80-foot cord allowed her to go into the closet to have a private conversation without mom and dad. Listen, now here's the other thing. There were parents, and text line, feel free to join in if I'm wrong, but there were parents who, if daughter was on the phone, mom and or dad were on the phone too. Like they were on the other end, like they would hold it. So you would hold down your finger on the button, cover the mouthpiece, right? And those folks don't understand that with current phones, right? There are people who are listening who have no idea what I'm talking about. But they would hold their hand over it, but there were also a thing called a party line. There's a party line where random neighbors could interrupt your call. It was special. I got lucky because I had 7 brothers and sisters.
Who Pecan Pie says were probably on the phone too.
Oh, they were older and 4 of them were sisters. Yeah. Listen, I couldn't wait till they got out of the house. The best thing that happened to me, to my dating life, was that I moved in with my grandmother in 7th grade. So from 12 to 15, I lived with my grandmother 2 streets away. And I would go back and forth, but there were days. And grandma was just not a phone person. She was just not on the phone much. Now her thing was, if somebody calls me, you get off your call. But otherwise,
have at it.
And this is even before voicemail, right? So I would go in my room and I would make phone calls. And I want to say I had one girlfriend each of those years. So it's not like I had like a plethora of phone calls to really go through, but it was a thing. And my grandmother would come and check in. If I got too quiet, she would check in. You good? We good? And then this is how I was loved. When I got off that phone call, I had to come to her and tell her who I was talking to and what I was talking to them about. And it was the greatest boundary that ever existed because I had to sit and explain to my grandmother, my Bible-holding, gospel-toting grandmother, who is that little girl you talking to? And if she didn't approve, that was the last call. Like, oh, yeah, that ain't a thing. So it was interesting. And it's, again, we apologize because Austin and I go down rabbit holes all the time. That's not where I was started. I made him commissioner, and that was where I wanted to go. So, Austin, if you're the commissioner of college football playoffs, what are your rules for ranking? if you're trying to find the 12 best teams, or you're trying to find the best 8 teams outside of the 4 biggest conference winners. Now, you could say, listen, I'm going to take 7 or 8 conference champions, because who's to say that the other conference, that Joe's conference isn't producing, the American conference isn't producing a team worthy of a playoff bid, right? Because they're earning the right by being the best of the best in organized form, being the best. They earn the right to go face one of the big dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you could say, quite frankly, it's all about me, and it's the 12 that I want, because that may be how college football playoff teams are determined this year. 4 conference champions. There are more than 4 conferences. So that's kind of a problem. Austin, how do you determine who gets in to your 12, the Fighting Orman Championship of 12? How do they get in?
There's a world in which I rule on an iron throne. That
is how you
clench
live.
The scepter.
That is how you live your
and that
life.
I wield. I do not just wield it, but I use it as well.
Live your life, AO.
I understand that some would view me as a benevolent, kind,
tyrant,
caring
is the word.
ruler. Others would see me as a tyrant indeed. Sorry, Texas. Sorry, Oklahoma. Sorry, Iowa.
Right?
Thanks for coming. Play again, next commissioner.
Right?
Is really the line
wait,
I would draw.
Wait for Foreman to get the chance, because there is no chance, right?
Yep. Foreman, not Orman.
Right.
No, in all actuality, I think there's a lot of things that I think I would do different. And that is, I think I would go back to some more, regional based scheduling, because I think we either need another tournament or we need a bigger tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked the idea of an 8-team tournament. Skipping to 12, not my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that I get into my college basketball mode here. And I know basketball and football are not the same game.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to play a basketball game on a one-day turnaround than a football game on a 4-day turnaround, right? Like, I understand that in my head, especially with all the other demands on these student athletes.
It's 1 game a week.
Yes. Which is fine. If
It's
it's still
1 game a week. So
we can do that. But
right?
that's where I fall into the mode of the 72 team 12 division idea.
Okay.
Where if you want a 12 team playoff, we're going to split it in half, right? So we have a 72 and then an everyone else, or a 64 and then an everyone else if you want 8 divisions. But I don't necessarily like that idea. I don't love it. I do think that, if it's FBS, it's FBS. This is where I go back to kind of that March Madness idea. Maybe it's December Delirium or the January Jubilee or whatever the heck you want to end up calling it when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me your conference champs. If you win a conference championship, you are in the playoff. If you don't win your conference championship, enjoy a bowl game. Sorry,
right.
you had 12 cracks, maybe even 13 cracks.
Right.
I don't care how big of a brand you are. Get a little bit better. Try again next year. You're never going to get to a 68-team college football playoff. That is absolutely ridiculous and insane.
Right.
But if there is an FBS conference and there is a champion of said conference, throw them all in a bowl, match them up, play it out till the end.
Like, the rules before the season starts. You know the rules with the schedule that's in play. That if you want to be in the playoffs, you have to win your conference title.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. Like, the rules are simple. If you want to be, the NFL told you early, right? Win your title. Surest way to get it. Win your conference title. But then they explained it from a richness standpoint, right? A monetary standpoint. They understood there was value in having more people involved, emotionally vested in the season. So, okay, cool. But if you win the conference championship, it makes so much sense to just say, listen, American Conference, you congratulations, you did it. And it's not like we don't have a metric for a number 16 seed beating a 1 seed. We talk about it every year in basketball. We talk about it in baseball. We talk about it in softball. Those tournaments matter. And it's good for the sport. It's good for the other conferences. It's good for the other schools. Like, we understand what it did for Liberty and James Madison. To be in these to be in these conversations. We understand it. But to set up and let the rich keep getting richer. Listen, between Alabama and Georgia, the loser going to a $5 million bowl game, I'll cry later. I'll cry later. Right?
If at all.
Right? Listen, the best man and the bridesmaid, go dance off. Right? Go dance off. I'm cool. But it's not your time. You had a chance to get the ring. Didn't do it. Didn't do it. Now, if I said to you that to identify as Commissioner Orman, which teams currently are having the best year in college football? The best teams, the teams that are having the best year, that they've met all their mission statements, could that be defined as undefeated teams?
I think it probably should be. I mean, Texas, obviously, is up there. Even an undefeated team like Oregon, again, accomplished the objective of winning games, but is underwhelmed in more than a few moments.
But
so,
they've
like
done,
Jay said,
we can't punish them for doing what we asked them to do, which was win their games. Right?
But the way you phrased your question led me to believe the eye test had to be involved to some degree.
Well,
if we're just looking at wins and losses, then
it's Commissioner Orman. Whatever you want it to be is what it's going to be.
Which is why I think there does need to be just a little bit of eye test when it comes to seeding everything, but not necessarily in who gets in, right? You get the invite if you get the invite, but which table you get to sit at, I still want to assign.
So if we said there's 12 conferences, correct? Right? And then there's independents. Now you can force independents, hey, get off. You got to come to the party. Like, listen, you can't.
Which is what I would do.
Right? Like you say, look, sorry, Notre Dame, you've been rich for 70 years of television on your own. But if you want to be in the big day, listen, you can stay independent and make all the money. But that's fine, because what they'll end up at the next level bowl. They won't be in the playoffs because they're not vetted. They're not fully vetted. You got to choose your schedule. You're not bound to anybody. You're not loyal to anybody. You're not connected to anybody. So there's that 12. Now, if you say to me that now we're going to have 4 more, because 16 is a number that in playoff play makes more sense than the other. And you could say to me that, listen, the top 4 big conference champions will get a bye, but we're going to make everybody else play each other. We're going to make everybody fight that we're in. Or the top 8. Because you could say, hey, listen, I don't know, number 8, maybe I'll give you a home game, even in terrible weather. One more revenue stream. Or you can go to Orlando, or you can go to Los Angeles, or you can go to an indoor bowl. I'm fine with that. So if winning your games is a metric, what's wrong with, and Austin, I'll pause here, but I'm going to set this up. What's wrong with all of the undefeated teams being higher ranked than the one-loss team? Ponder that for me. Because if the undefeated teams have had the best season so far, and by every metric, that Army and Navy are having the time of their lives, more so than Georgia, Ohio State, because
Cal's having the time of its life at the same record as USC.
Right. Right. So relative to what you've done, getting an Army team and a Navy team undefeated is a major task. So, Austin Orman, commissioner, I'm going to go through the 11 undefeated teams and tell me why they can't be ranked in the top 12 when we come back to Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $437 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1004120, $437 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 5,500 due with signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 9/30/2024. See dealer for details.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today. Frost likely this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mostly sunny skies for today. An afternoon high around 62. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low around 37. And tomorrow, more frost in the morning and sunshine for today. We see a high around 57. I'm meteorologist Kyle Bucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
My husband has always been the one we depend on. He's a great dad, loves the outdoors, but lately he hasn't been himself. He tried to hide it, but I can tell he's struggling with his mental health. I called the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
988 calls and texts are free and confidential with skilled caring support 24/7. No judgment, just help.
988 saved my husband's life.
Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah, watch out there, boy. Anyway, Jay Foreman, DP Austin, we're back. Indiana week. It's a little brisk. Probably gonna be brisk there in Bloomington.
Hey, we set you up though.
For what?
We set you up though. So Commissioner Orman over there.
Oh.
Commissioner Orman. He's a tyrant. He is an iron-fisted.
That Iron Throne is mine.
Right?
For Karras.
Right? So he needs to come up with how college football is going to decide its 12 teams.
Man.
And if it's all wins, if it's just simply who he wants to invite to the party, is it conference champions? Since there's 12 conference champions, do you let them in since they accepted the mission and accomplished it, which is win your conference championship? If you want to be in the playoffs, win the conference championship. If you don't win the conference championship, listen, you can't be in the playoff, but you can go to a really good bowl, right? You can go to the Music City Bowl. You can go to the hey, I'm going to hang out in San Diego Bowl. You can do all that, but you can't play. You can make $5 million at the Outback Bowl, but you cannot win the national title. Damn. Right?
That's what you said?
Well, that was one path. That was one path. So Austin has his list of how he's.
Let me hear this.
Yep.
Let me hear this.
Give it to me, Austin Norman, and we'll get Jay Foreman's in the final segment. Austin, go ahead.
I think for college football, the best system would be more divisions that are smaller, or more conferences that are smaller, right? Split them into divisions. And then really for me, the perfect college football playoff system is 16 with 8 conferences. Because what you do, hey, look at this. Division winners play each other in a conference championship game. That's your quarterfinal, or your round of 16, your Sweet 16. Your quarterfinal round is your first round of the playoff. Then you get your semifinals and your final. That's the way I would like it done.
Are conference championships still existing in all 8 of those conferences? And remember, the real fight's going to be where does Nebraska go and who gets to dictate what conference Nebraska. Are we going to be in the real Midwest? We're going to be in the Old West Conference, right? Are we going to be in the Old Midwest Conference where it's Kansas State? Like we're going to go Iowa State. We're going to put the real drivable community conference together.
You gotta do that for the fans, right?
Right? You can do that, or you can say, I'm going to take 16 conferences and then set a boundary for that. Because here's the thing. Conference championships now become the de facto playoffs.
Yeah.
Right?
I think they should be the first round, or at least a barrier to entry, right? We will give you a ticket to get into the 8-team playoff.
Right. You can lose
by playing for your conference championship.
Right. You can lose a game before then. Now, the people who go into conference championships undefeated and then lose, you knew the rules. Not our fault. Not our fault.
And it's one thing to say that in football versus telling a mid-major, quote unquote, basketball program the same thing. I have long been team regular season champion gets the auto bid to March Madness. Now the conference tournament championship. I'm different in football.
So here's what that does, right? That the conference regular season conference championship, that means everybody's under one window. So there are no more East, West, North, South, none of that. Regular season gets in. Do they then play in the conference championship game? Because if you've already got a bid to the playoffs, you're not going to play in a championship game because it doesn't matter. You don't want anybody to get hurt. You don't want it it's a thing. So
that's why I'm saying it's different in basketball versus football, right? Because in my football system, you have divisions. So you take the 2 division winners, you win your division title, then you play for the conference championship, win conference championship playoff ticket.
But I actually like the idea that the regular season team gets a bid, right? You're already in the playoffs. That teams 2 and 3 in the conference, if that's the case, then go and play, and one of them, a one-loss team, has a chance to play yourself back in, right? And I'm like this dresses up nicely. Let's say Texas wins the SEC. Then in the conference championship game, it's Georgia, Alabama, because Texas is in. Those 2 play each other with one loss. And if you win, you're in the playoff as a bottom seed, but you're still in.
But then would you want them playing Texas and have another round of conference matchups, or would we then go to a 16-team ranking and then seed them more like Soccer World Cup style?
I would do the 16 as in full, right? 12 conferences, and then 4 of the Power 4, right? Because or an independent, a 2-loss Power 4 or a 1-loss or undefeated independent. Then you don't get mad that, wait a minute, I'm bad at Notre Dame for not having a like you could just say, as we said, we would just tell Notre Dame, if you're not in a conference, I'm sorry, you're out of luck. You're just going to a really good bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I like 16. I know from doing stuff with the Big Ten when that came out at 12, 16 came like through our like emails, like, hey, a couple years might be 16. I like 16. I don't think you need that many like conferences. I think you need. I'm fine with the Big Four. Ideally, I'd like 5. I wish there was a way, but Pac-12 would never come back.
They're one team shy, Jay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Washington State's really, make everybody shake it in the boots. But I like the 4. I'd rather it be 16. I think the teams that are overall like the number 1 seed should get a bye. I do like that you still got to play the conference championships to get, to do it, but also don't think you should be penalized. If you're undefeated to get there, you need to, it's kind of like Kansas State and TCU that a couple years ago. Here's the one thing that I'd like to see on top of this, right? 16. So that means that gives you more group of 5s in there. So that means you could have a Liberty James Madison in there. I like that. And I don't think that they need to play each other. Like here's your reward. You get in, but then you guys play each other. Let's match you guys up to, and I would probably be more strategic, more like Dana White. Let's get some styles, make fights, right? So if it's say Indiana's in, let's see you play Liberty or against James Madison, which they already know, or like when Sam Houston State was really good, or South Dakota State. Let's see what you really got, right? Let's see Indiana. Let's see you play against Georgia. But what I really would like, or really think it could go to, where you have a system where you can get demoted or promoted. I think you start with like the top like 45 or 50, and that lasts. So if you go 50, I would say from 38 to 50, that's fluid.
But okay, so but
I'm just that's not the championship. I'm just talking about that's if I was
what you do king. For football would affect everything else.
This is
right?
just football,
right? Because Nebraska would be like, "Hey, wait a minute,
this is just football."
There'd have been a few years where Nebraska wouldn't have been in the conversation. Like you're not going to be one of the top 40 programs.
Or 50, yeah, they would have to play their ways up.
Right,
up,
you got to play their way up, and that would be a whole other.
And
battle,
there would be a realistic way to do it. But I think you could either do that even if you did it if you just did like 2 really big conglomerate power conferences, you can have promotion and demotion within those.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
But then aren't you just setting up for an NFL system where whoever wins those 2 super conferences, you get your college Super Bowl?
Yeah. Because this is professional sports. This is no longer college sports anymore. Now, if it was still college, then we should have been doing whatever they were doing in FCS as far as playoffs long time ago.
2014 playoff.
Right, 24 play. And you know what? To be honest with you, like I know we're not supposed to talk about the 90s. We would have been fine doing that. We would. Now, granted, injuries and all that, but we had the depth to just blow through.
Can I ask you who said that we shouldn't be talking about the 90s? Who took away my right and ability to talk about the 90s? Like it wasn't an iconic.
No comment.
Okay.
So, it wasn't. There's dudes that don't like talk about it on air.
I don't. Get a microphone. Have your own conversations. And
that's fine. I mean, but this is where I keep saying this, and I'm not really understanding like the 90s aren't bad. And I remember sitting there talking to Chris Jenkins Jr. He was like, "We embraced 1997." I wanted to tell him, like, you guys really didn't win it, but, all right, that's cool. I like your dad, so cool. I'm cool with it. And plus, he's bigger than me, too. Right. He could have cut it. He would have hemmed me up. Like, I don't understand the whole mindset of it. I think it's more or less a thing, I know I don't speak for I can speak for a majority of the players. And I would say this, if guys got to talk about themselves, they really weren't that good. That's honest. That's what the guys. But I could talk about guys that I played with.
Like what?
Nobody cares.
We compare. Like we
No, but
we know what Jordan. We know who Michael Jordan.
There is no comparison.
Right. He's a '90s guy, right?
Right, but there's no comparison because the game's totally different.
Right.
So that we're not minimizing the game now. We're not overemphasizing the game then. We were one of the greatest runs of all time. When guys talk about, at least the guys that I know, which is guys from stretch from 90 to all, I know pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
We don't ever reference they need to be like us. What people want, and this is along with the fans, is good hard-nosed football and guys that care about football. And guys, you guys know, and I'll say, tell you this. This is how I know football. And I know people say football is totally different. It's not. Teams are teams, and here's the difference. When we like, so when I was on the team here, and I've seen it when I was in the pros, I could talk about when I was in Buffalo, we were going to or like almost to the Super Bowl, or when I was in Houston, when we were in the toilet bowl, right? Or when we were in the Giants, when we were 1 game or 2 games away from Super Bowl. I can talk. This is just flat across my career. When we were winning at our clip, we had pretenders on the team. We had guys, steak, sweatsuit, and I won't tell you what the other S is. That's what they were. They were pretenders. The difference is those guys knew their place and knew how to pretend good enough that they knew that to get out the way, because it's 90-some% of guys, and we were just this train is going, and if you want to get ran over, that's fine. But if you want to kind of tag along, we had pretenders. Now, I talked about the 20% rule. 20% of your team wants to be the best. They're here. They love football and all that, right? That's right. They'll go to school, keep their nose clean, work hard, do the extra work. Then you got 20% that's kind of like, all right, they want to do it their way. Well, then that leaves 60%. So if your 20% can get that 60%, you're at 80%. So the biggest thing is you don't want is that 20% to take that. And then also you want the good 20% to recruit from that other 20%, because the other 20% is just waiting to be led and all this other stuff. And that's really what it is. Like if our like pretender percentage, let's just say it was 15%. That's actually way too high, but it was that. There's been teams prior here or whatever that maybe their pretender percent probably is close to 50. I don't think that's the case now, but that's just the difference. So it's not, when people talk about the night, that's fine. I mean, look, dude, I'm old, I can't do anything. I don't really care.
We do get that historically, for tracking purposes, for data purposes, for information, nobody's saying today's game is terrible. Nobody's saying, when we talk about the 70s, 80s, 90s, 60s, like we just mentioned, Army, Navy haven't both been in the top 25 since 1960. That's not to say anything other than to highlight that they're there now, and the last time that they were there was 80 years ago, 60 years ago.
The game is always going to change. That's the evolution of the people. First of all, there's millions of more people walking the face of Earth, or like on Earth today, right? So just by that alone, everybody's bigger. The game is going to change.
Bigger, stronger, faster.
Right. In theory.
But not necessarily
in theory,
better.
They're bigger, faster, and stronger. Right. I will push back on you on that.
Yeah.
Now, I think they have depth of these guys. Like, you get guys that go to the combine, you might have like 20 of the guys that all can do it. Now, they're able to train. They go specifically to do that. Mm-hmm. But they're not bigger. They're not necessarily faster, because I haven't seen anybody faster than Amon Green, Deion Sanders, and Randy Moss. So, or better. Right now, that's not taking a shot at them. I think
bigger in a sense that in 1989, 88,
the size of athlete is significantly
Joe Jacoby
bigger
versus today's left tackle.
Yeah,
Jeff Bostic wouldn't be able to play center at 265
But that's the
pounds.
evolution of mankind.
Right. That pitchers in today's game, if you were in 1988, there were 5 guys who threw 90, 95. Yeah. Now everybody's right. So we know what it is. That part of it's
true. That's a guarantee, though.
But that's why you have to mention
there was never females dunking back when I was in high school.
Right.
There's females. I mean, to see it now, it's like, all right, not all right. We've seen it before, but like we've seen it before, right? where the Lisa Leslie and all them kind of was like, man, she dunked. Then it was like, can you dunk in a game? Then they dunk in a game. Now you see it all the time. And so, I think it's just more or less just a reference point. Everybody faces it. It doesn't even matter what school you're at, because you could be, it's no different. So like Jay Higgins, who was a great interview a couple years ago at Big Ten Media Days, right? He had never played pretty much significant snaps at Iowa. He was playing behind Campbell, right? Who was a 2-time All-American, probably won the Buckets, first-round pick. He's fighting that standard. He said it. I have big shoes to fill. He's filling them bad boys. He might not be. He's not going to be a first-round pick, but he's going to the NFL. He's the guy that was a question mark. There's always expectations. It's a matter of whether you like embrace them or not, and what you make of them. Like nobody from. I think there's like a misconception that anybody doesn't want these guys to be successful. They want to be successful. I always say, like, look, it doesn't matter what your vice is. Winning is the best thing to experience. And when you do something that you're not thought to be able to do, it's real special. Also, you have to be able to want it, man. And that's the thing that's you like.
Look, I think people who aren't winning don't want to be told that they aren't winning, but they need to be told that they're not winning, because that's how everything was built.
And you can win without winning championships. You can be great without championships. There's been great teams here, great teams of all, like the Miami Hurricane team that had like 15 penalties against Texas in the Cotton Bowl, and they obliterated Texas. That's one of the best college football teams I've ever laid eyes on. They don't even have a national championship because they had one loss.
Yeah,
that's a great team.
This is the best part of having this discussion, that in figuring out who the best team is now. Remember that we didn't always have a March Madness. We didn't always have, we didn't always have wild card. So the evolution of the sports, you have to go back to remind people, listen,
how far we've came.
Yeah, you have to evolve. And in that evolution is the discussion over, here's what worked before. Here's what was missed. Because I still am bitter that the early Maryland Terrapins with John Lucas, Tom McMillan, et cetera, Lynn Elmore, didn't even get to go to a tournament as the number 4 team in the country.
Yeah.
You know why? Because one team from the ACC got in the tournament, and that was NC State. Yeah. And guess what? A 34-3 Maryland team sat at home, had to go to NIT, because that's the way it was done then. If you don't know how things used to be, then you can't get it right now. You just can't.
Yeah, if you don't think 97, wouldn't it have been better for Michigan to play, or us to play Michigan in 97?
Man.
Right?
Wouldn't that have been a wonderful thing?
Right? Wouldn't it have been better that way? Mm-hmm. But now they get an opportunity to do it. I mean, it's just part of it. I mean, it's a different game. There's a lot more other distractions. I'd like to say we had a ton of distractions as well, but I think it's definitely more significant now, and I think that's just a byproduct of the world, though. Yeah. Right? It's no different. So, sports is the world. It's just a different, I guess, avenue or whatever you want to call it, different view of it. But anyways, our view is 1040 O Street, the Mecca of Sports Radio. We're going to take a quick break, come back, put a bow on this bad boy. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been told by your physician that your testosterone level is fine, but you don't feel fine? Get a second opinion. If your testosterone level is 200, 350, even 500, and you still have symptoms, come to Limitless Male. We treat the person and the symptoms, not the number. Our mission is for you to feel optimal again. So if you're tired all the time, no energy, brain fog, muscle loss, nothing left in the tank, get your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more, plus porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Sartor Hamann Jewelers is celebrating 119 years as Lincoln's top choice for fine jewelry. Join us for our anniversary sale going on now through October 20th. Enjoy an exclusive 20% off on in-stock items, including dazzling diamond jewelry, exquisite rings, and luxury watches. This once-a-year event is our way of saying thank you to the community that has supported us for over a century. Mark your calendars and celebrate this milestone with us by indulging in spectacular savings only at Sartor Hamann Jewelers.
The temperature and leaves are falling daily, so that means it's time for a new pair of shoes for the fall season from Brown Shoe Fit. Now, through October 31st, take $15 off any regular priced fall shoe and boots. Brands like Keen, Obos, Echo, Taos, and Atrex, all $15 off. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. This is the sale that you've all been waiting for. So get down to Brown Shoe Fit on 66th and Q.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. Quick segment. Solving the world's problem. I think I'm as we've seen some upsets though. I will tell you, I think this next 6 weeks are going to be. I think last year couldn't line up any better for college football because the Pac-12 had their best year. Everybody was good, and then they imploded, so they just went out with a bang. That actually benefited everybody else, right? And then you have new blood coming in. We talked about BYU, Iowa State. Can they hold on? Can Miami get out of the, the last second kids? And then here comes Dabo, there he is. It's like a little snake in the grass, right? And so all these teams, and then you got upsets. And then now you have pressure in places that didn't expect any pressure until the pressure was the Final 12. That's in Oxford, Tuscaloosa, down there in Athens. Is different type of pressure.
Well, you included them in a process they weren't in.
They've never been.
A year ago, they wouldn't matter because we still can't see them winning the SEC.
Right.
Like we can't, but we can see them sneaking into the 2 spot or getting into the championship game and having that happen. But we also now have to have the discussions about the Big 12. Like, what is the real value of it?
Right.
Who is the source? Like, who's going to be the force of this thing?
Right.
ACC, we don't know. They're guaranteed a spot, but do they get 2? Do they get 2?
Right.
And if they don't, they're going to have to reboot, retool, rebrand next year.
It's going to change 3 or 4 times because there's going to be some smoke in the city down there in the ACC.
Yes, sir.
And then let's not forget, quiet as kept, I'll respect them. Here comes Texas. Here comes the ugly cousin with right that everybody thought was the all right. Let's not give him the good steak. Well, they went and got their own steak. Here comes Texas A&M, right? Along with those other, and let's not forget Tennessee. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Good, looking forward to this week for Nebraska. But anyways, good segment or good show anyway. Like always, Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll take a break. It's going to be what is it? Tom Chattel's coming on 6:30. Tom
6.
It's 6.
We rolling.
Oh, 6.
And if Bill's at 6:30.
That's right.
Pregame.
Oh, you know what we're going to do. We're going to introduce AA Ron to
the turf.
One Buffalo way, even though we're going down there. Anyways, we'll holler at you tomorrow.